समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है, अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया?
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
You can read this piece as opinion, a war movie script, or as a news story told in depth and granularity you've never found elsewhere. A news story on Op Sindoor. I will take the suspense away, however, and plead with you to do no such thing. This is an opinion piece, and the upshot is stated in just one word: caution, or maybe two words: caveat emptor, which means buyer beware. The Gallantry Awards for Operation Sindoor were announced on the eve of Independence Day. 15 Veer Chakras, 58 Sena medals, 26 Vayu Sena medals, and 5 Nausena medals for gallantry, and an aggregate of 290 mentioned in dispatches or MIDs. The missing chapter in the story was the citations. That wait ended late on the night of 21st October when a buzz went up across newsrooms that Government of India had released the full list of decorations with citations. I had to get off watching the Women's World Cup cricket match, and that was an important match. Not such a big fight. It was Pakistan versus South Africa, but there was rain in Sri Lanka, and if the match had got rained off, South Africa would have lost a point, which was going to be positive for the Indian team, which at that point was struggling for a semi-final slot. I had to get off watching it as an important story had broken late, but also I remembered to my dismay that our defense editor Snehesh Alex Philip was in China, a bad time zone, 2.5 hours ahead. Worse for military talk, because in that zone between India and Pakistan, how do we do this? Talk about military issues on the phone. Nevertheless, I called him on signal at about 2:30 a.m. his time. We were both unable to open the Gazette notification link, usual Bharat Sarkar internet, I thought. So I did the next best thing, put an AI caddy on the job. Chalo, grok beta, kaam karo thoda mere liye, read up all the citations in the Gazette and bring them to me. It took me into a never-ending rabbit hole that, to be honest, was such a reporter's delight that I kept sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. It made for an incredible story, and I was intrigued that nobody in the Indian media seemed to have picked it up. A couple of questions, however, came up. Since when did Government of India start releasing so much detail in its citations? Did somebody slip up? When did Government of India start talking about losses to itself, talking about near disasters or near catastrophes? Once again, did somebody get something wrong? Something seemed amiss there. I called Snehesh again and told him some highlights. Is it for real? Both of us wondered, and then Snehesh gave me the good advice to screenshot it all. I screenshotted about 3 meters, if not more. You will see a lot of that running on your screen as we talk. Here are the juiciest of the highlights from these citations Grok produced for me. Number 1, 8 fighter pilots among the Veer Chakra winners carried out their missions heroically, but many, including then several Vayu Sena medal winners, pilots, returned with their aircraft suffering various degrees of damage, mostly from missiles bursting close to them with proximity fuses. The lines used often and repeated were despite aircraft damage from proximity fuses and despite multiple missile locks. One young flight lieutenant, this detail told me, ducked missiles while pulling strong G forces, and his quick thinking also avoided a mid-air collision during egress. Egress means coming back. Number 2, the courage of the group captain commanding the S-400 squadron, he got a Veer Chakra by the way, is highlighted because, and I quote again, his precision and resolve averted potential catastrophe. Number 3, now we jump to a posthumous Vayu Sena medal for a Corporal Surendra Kumar, a technician with an S-400 battery. He repaired the damaged radar under attack and died of shrapnel injury. Fourth, about a half dozen awards for the army are for officers and other ranks operating deep behind enemy lines. Some even guided Indian airstrike groups from the vicinity of Bahawalpur and Muridke, which means they had to be about 150 kilometers, say about 45 kilometers or 50 kilometers to 160 kilometers inside. 5. One pilot bombed Muridke, braving intense anti-aircraft fire and man-pad missiles, which means that pilot would have to be very deep inside Pakistani airspace. Another interdicted a convoy taking supplies to terrorist hideouts. We never heard of a convoy bombed. Yet another made low-level ingress to attack terrorists' bunkers with precision, avoiding friendly fire near misses. Names are offered for each, and you know what? In most cases, the names are the same as the service personnel given these decorations. Next point, 6. Yet another IAF award recipient repaired battle damage to S-400s under fire. Another survived a direct missile hit. Another, in this case a pilot, survived a direct missile hit. One carried out deep attacks at treetop level, and a squadron leader shot down a Pakistan Air Force Mirage with his cannons in a turning dogfight despite high G loads. Several others are decorated for repairing damaged Rohini radars or Akash batteries under fire. Number 7, it tells me that almost all names under mention in dispatches are redacted for secrecy. Some technicians armed or repaired jets under artillery fire. A female controller guided a limping Rafale to safety in near zero visibility on her airbase. Number 8, among army mentions in dispatches, officers are cited for having shifted specialized artillery from another command with Excalibur smart shells. 9th point, if I go on like this, then I will get into what young people call TMI or too much information. That is not needed. I can simply conclude my evidence with the reference to a Nausena medal recipient, Commander Priya Desai, commission number given there. A Kalvari class submarine, that's a Scorpion submarine squadron commander who stalked and harassed a Pakistani Augusta B submarine. By now, I was absolutely sure that it was all fake. There were red flags all along. For a within visual range dogfight never happened. For an IF Rafale to fight a PF Mirage with guns, one of them would have had to cross into the other's airspace. That never happened. That was a within visual range description. That never happened. No cross-border infantry or special forces raids were claimed. Would the government talk about any damage to jets, radars, or missile batteries, especially S-400s in these citations? Does the Indian Navy have senior women commanding submarine squadrons? Why would the government reveal the names of some award recipients but redact most of them? Did not make sense. The first lesson we learned from our brutally unforgiving news editors from not such a genteel era in the newsroom was, if a story looks too good to be true, hey, it isn't true. That's why reporters must keep their bullshit detector on. But bullshitted by almighty AI, artificial intelligence, and that too with such shrewd fakeries sexed up to impress a journalist, because this one has figured out that I'm a journalist, I want a story. So this one is not bothered by the facts, it's making up facts to impress me with the story, hoping that I will buy it. By the morning, the Gazette link opened and we discovered that no citations beyond the 15 Veer Chakras had been released. Yet, all the names for the other awards, including all the mentions in dispatches, were listed, none redacted. That whole idea of redacted awards was fake. Further, and hold your breath, a Vayu Sena medal was conferred posthumously on an IAF non-commissioned officer, Surendra Kumar, but he was a medical attendant and another colleague was listed alongside him. This one was not posthumous. Now I got back to GRAW and I said, I cannot find any Commander Priya Desai in the Gazette. Are you making it up? Are you buying disinformation? Are you spreading disinformation? So Grok replied, I don't take disinformation. I don't spread disinformation. I go to reliable sources, and then said, okay, I apologize for the confusion. It agreed that no Priya Desai existed and said the name, and I quote from Grok, the name appears to have been illustrative or erroneous placeholder, which means it had made up the name, and thanked me for calling it out. Hello, thanks, but no thanks. I returned with the question on Corporal Surendra Kumar. I asked for evidence, and Grok gave me what it claimed to be the exact text of the citation. I said, give me the exact citation. First of all, I said, give me a screenshot from the Gazette. It said, I am AI, I cannot take a screenshot, but I can give you the exact text of the Gazette notification for Corporal Surendra Kumar. Please see that on your screens. That citation confirmed the S400 damage claim, and the language was so Bharat Sarkar. You see this on your screen. The language is so Bharat Sarkar that I called the Indian Air Force spokesperson to check. They told me no citations were issued because this is still an ongoing operation. So all these other awards, no citations were issued. Then I told Grok, I went back, that Kumar was a medical attendant because I saw that on the Gazette notification. He was a medical attendant and a sergeant, which is a rank above corporal. Regrets came promptly again. First of all, it said something like, maybe between when I studied this and to when you got the story, he got promoted. But regrets came promptly again with accurate information. And accurate information was that he and his colleague were honored for carrying out a brave rescue from the medical outpost at Udhampur, hit in a Pakistani attack. In this case, we know that it was a loitering munition attack. Here is what we can safely conclude. One, that AI is smarter, but too smart. It promises to give you facts, but can make up total fiction and then embellish it also to suit your needs, your weaknesses, or your biases. It wants its attention. You can call it TRPs for other people. For some people, you can say likes and shares. Similarly, it wants its attention. Attention, time spent is revenue ultimately. Yet, however smart it gets, it cannot substitute human journalists. 2. AI is taking propaganda, fake news, and information subversion to a completely new level. We fret over misinformation on Twitter, what our commando comic channels did during Op Sindoor, and what we deride as WhatsApp University. This encounter with Grok is saying to us, you ain't seen nothing yet. Much worse is to come. And 3, AI can be easily gamed. All of these sensational, too good to be true elements dressed up as facts here are what the Pakistani talking points would be, what the Pakistanis would want you to believe, that S-400s were hit, as were many IAF jets. Almost every IAF jet that went into battle got hit, even if it came back. Airfields lost power, that claim they made. And it also gives details of artillery and specialized ammunition that our government has not mentioned anywhere in these citations. None of this is to be found in the Indian media as well. So where has Grok creamed it from? The nut graph, the sum of this article therefore, is that Grok has been gamed into giving you a story peppered with key Pakistani talking points, while at the same time praising Indian soldiers to high heavens to make it all look so convincing. AI has taken warfare into a new dimension. Since 5th-generation warfare or 5GW is a thing already, let's call it the 6th generation in warfare.